Check that out. This line's been abandoned for about 25 years. And this tree's grown up in the place of the tracks and literally bent the rail. We'll definitely have to watch my step on this track. So the rail line I'm walking today is the Springhurst to Waganya spur line. It is a broad gauge line that ran from Springhurst to Waganya, was opened in 1879. It closed to passenger traffic in 1962 and it finally closed up shop for good in 1995 to freight traffic. This first section I'm walking at the moment, it still has the rails in place and it runs from Springhurst to Rutherglen. Now the section from Rutherglen to Waganya has been converted into a rail trail, so a place where people can ride bikes along and get some exercise. So it'd be nice to walk this section with the rails still in place and get that sort of authentic feeling of what it was like with this rail line. So the line itself is about 22 kilometres long. Being broad gauge and the fact that the Melbourne to Sydney line here has been converted to standard gauge, it's effectively isolated now, so can't be reused in any capacity, and judging by the amount of trees in the tracks, it would take a great effort to recommission it. I'm getting a bit of a stand by me vibe walking along the tracks here. Lucky I don't have to contend with actual trains on bridges and have to try and outrun them. I've just seen some kangaroos up ahead too, hopefully don't have to contend with them either. I think this poor old kangaroo up here's got a broken leg. He doesn't look too good. I'll see if I can just quietly get past him so he doesn't have to keep moving ahead of me.
You're alright, mate. Stay there, stay there. Stay there. You're alright. I'm just trying to get past you, mate. Don't have a rest. Don't have a rest. Ah!
Poor bugger probably won't last much longer. It's a bit of a death sentence, a broken leg for a kangaroo. Not much you can do for him though, unfortunately. This is a really good example of the type of ballast that was used on this rail line. It's all quartz. Usually ballast is that really heavy blue metal stuff, but this is all quartz. Quartz is very plentiful around this area. Obviously a lot of gold discovered around here, and quartz usually goes hand in hand with gold, so really good use of the local resources. It's been really interesting seeing the contrast between the regeneration of Spring and the dilapidated disrepair of the rail line. It really puts things into perspective. just crossed over the Black Dog Creek Bridge, which means I'm about halfway along the section of track that's still here, although the track runs along the side of the Springhurst Rutherglen Road, so I'm going to have to be a bit more discreet as I'm walking along this section. The piece of track up ahead of me is exactly why I wanted to come on this adventure, just to see how quickly nature can reclaim the built environment. You can see here these peppercorn trees have completely obscured the track, so I'm going to have to bush bash my way to get through. I just walked past old mate back there mowing his lawns. I don't know if he noticed me or not, but I just kept walking as if I was allowed to be here. Don't need to be sneaky. Just about to come into Lilliput Station, and there's this box here. I'd say it's either a phone box. I can see some wires in there, so if the drivers need to make a call or something, they could use the box here. Well, that behind me is Lilliput Station. That is all it is, just a little tin shed. There's not even a rise up to a platform or anything like that. It just got down off the train and off he went. There used to be a sign here too, which I think someone's pilfered. Bit of a shame. Keep going to the next station, which is Rutherglen. Check out these massive mullock heaps behind me. Now, a mullock heap is the spoil that comes out of a mine, and in this case it's a gold mine. There's gold all through this area. It was discovered in the early 1800s. And if you think about it, those mullock heaps there are part of the reason why this railway is even here in the first place. Because if you think about it, gold was discovered in the early 1800s, settlements sprang up around the gold fields, those settlements turned into towns, and those towns needed servicing for freight and passenger services, and voila, you get a railway line that gets put in. So thank those guys for this. Just coming into Rutherglen now, and thank God my dogs are barking. I can see the tops of the wheat silos up there, which is directly opposite the Rutherglen station. Well, what a beautiful afternoon. It's just got that really beautiful spring feel to it. Bit of weather in the air, you know, slight chance of a thunderstorm. It's just got that sound to it. You can hear the crickets. Magical conditions to be walking in. Not too hot. It's got a real vibe about it. Loved how a lot of the signage and signals have still been in place. It's really added to the authenticity of the trip.
So we are just rolling into Rutherglen Station. You can see the main line there, but we've also got these sidings here which go over to the wheat silos there, so that grain trains could fill up.
Unfortunately, the station and platform have seen better days, but they have repurposed the building into one of the local clubs for their clubhouse, so at least it's still getting used, I guess. Right down there is where the rails actually finish, so let's go and check that out. And there you have it. There is officially the end of the rails and the start of the Murray to the Mountains rail trail just along here. So it's about another 8 or 9 k's to Waggunya in that direction. While it's a shame to see all but a few of these relics of time torn up, it's good to see that they're transformed into something that still benefits the communities that they serve. Though people-powered bicycles are a far cry from the tons of lumbering diesel or steam-powered machines, the routes still live on, traversing the landscape. But thankfully, in forgotten corners of the countryside, the legacy lives on, hidden between the trees and long grass, standing like silent sentinels, waiting for the next train.